All right, welcome back. This is going to be start of a series, and probably a long one. Not the video, but the series, because this thing here is the beginning of what's going to be a whole thing here. I'm attempting to build with a very awesome start that was donated to the cause that already was modified before we even decided to start this project, but I'm going to build a rock crawling course for micro RC crawlers. Probably going to be, it's scale size. Sure, you could use a bigger one, but I'm going to make them for the smaller ones for the most part. You'd probably be able to rock it with 24 scale, but this is really going to be designed for the smaller guys. But I was given by a great friend and his son this big monstrosity here that I guess he had sitting for a while, and I saw some awesome potential in it, and obviously I still do. Had some paint on it. I've already scraped and added some parts to it to get, when I got into this hobby pretty fast, the ability to be able to climb it. And as we started progressing and modifying them, we could see the change, the difference, and how epic it'd be. I've got a crazy background in art and creativity, and I've done a lot of fun projects in my life that, and I haven't had something like that in a long time. And this is going to be my outlet. Kind of, sort of already did a video talking on that, but then I deleted it because, self-conscious and all that other shit. But so this is, I guess, there's probably a video I think that's going to come out before this talking about it, but this is like the first official modifications that are being done. And then when I get more time, I'm going to set up the GoPro, and you're going to see me modding it as I go, and you'll see the progression. I got to pick up another one of these tables, shorter, to properly fit underneath here, so I'll have my sizing, and this piece is going to go across this wall right here. And then I'm going to work my way through modifying, adding some more printed stuff, and then transition into what I think is going to be, it's going to be literally the centerpiece and the centerpiece of the project, and going to be a ridiculous amount of hours. The first little mountain of awesomeness, the mountain of death, is going to be a portable. I'm not going to use it in this project. Got to wait for the other piece, but this is going to be a portable, bring where we want. There's a couple pieces that I'm going to incorporate from everything that's been awesomely donated by my homie Adam. And some of these are mine, but they're all for the cause. And what's not used will end up going back to the club, or portable courses that we can traverse on. There's going to be multiple levels, and I got to sit down and kind of do a storyboard and draw it out. So I have a game plan I can go off of, but I don't want to bounce back and forth. I kind of want to start on one side and then work my way down. The few modifications I'm doing to this, hopefully within this week, is going to be just adding some detail, which I can show you here. Like, I 3D printed a tiki kind of emblem because I punched a hole through the back. I had an old LED strip that is tucked in the back so you can see what you're doing inside of there, and it makes it glow. I broke through the eyes and the wall, and it gives you, hold on, I can plug it in. Gives you a cool effect. I am definitely going to have to set stuff up so I can do this much easier. Bear with me here. Gotta one-hand this thing. Let's see here. So, it is much brighter than, I have a really bright light on, but you've got a nice cavern, and I gotta do some stuff in the back there and paint and black that out as I get to it. Like I said, the tiki guy, you can see his eyes glowing. I just started adding some foliage to it. I'm going to be 3D printing some logs. So I have a theme that I'm going to go with for this whole thing. It's kind of going to be like a yin-yang, where one side's going to be like the dark side of the moon, sort of. Darker colors, and then it's going to transition over into sands and colors like this. I think that's at least the game plan right now. But I wanted to add like the jungly theme, kind of goes with the basement, and that is where I started. So that's kind of the center piece of this corner with the lights. I got to make some more planks to make that look like an old bridge that was just glued on early on to have some fun. And then little things like these that I just printed to test that are actually quite hard to crawl over are going to get some more stuff and then blend it into the project and some foliage. And then I may just leave this back corner alone to store stuff, batteries, controllers for things, because that's going to be pushed up against the wall. What I've already done, and I don't remember what I talked about in the other video, but I chopped up the back to kind of form fit these 3 plates into place, which look great. But I think I'm going to add some fill in between some of these to make them look more like they belong. Try to get rid of the seams and stuff like that. Fill in the corner. Again, this is going to be a slow process. This section here, I'm going to try to make it look like water. So I have a couple ideas of what I want to do that's going to incorporate over there without giving that away by making this look like water, and then you have to traverse over it. I'm going to do like a sand pit with airsoft BBs. I got to work on the print for that. I'm not sure if I want to put it in the middle of here. I got to figure out how wide it is. This can be manipulated to make it a little wider, but the print might be too wide, or I'll save it for the other side. And the airsoft BBs will represent like the quicksand that you're going to go through. There will be lighting obviously involved into this project other than that, and that will expand over into here. That is going to be absolutely huge. If I can get to it today, I'm charging some batteries because I haven't gotten out and flown in quite some time. But I want to make a broken sort of picket fence along the edge here and along the edge in the back. I got some popsicle sticks, tongue depressor type things that I'm going to manipulate to make look like rails that are all bent and ragged, and then hang them all over the place along the back. And I might do it in a couple other spots, like right here I think would look really cool. And they will all be wood grained and made to look like they belong there. And then this is going to get paper mached at some point, completely covered in this material, which will make it rougher, easier to crawl, so to speak, but then it'll allow me to properly paint. Not every section. I'm going to try to blend it in, because we got a nice cutout over there. I don't really need to mess with it. I got to do some different paint so it doesn't eat away at the foam that's there, and I want it longevity when it comes to if this thing gets banged into or you crash, fall off, it's not destroying. This, when it was given to me, was completely brown, and from crawling over it with the really sticky tires that we have, it's already started to pull away the paint. So I will use a different style paint, or brushed style, or the airbrush that I'm going to have to learn. But then these sections were kind of lowered down to smooth out, and then when I lay it over, it will give it more of a ground texture versus the foam. Part of this section will get the rails, and then this is going to be suspension bridged out into what I'm not even going to talk about right now. But I got to figure a way to log how many hours I put into this, because I already probably got 40 hours easily in the little bit that I've done. And like I said, just adding the foliage, there's about a half hour, and I got a bunch left that I've got to add to it while the batteries are charging. And then keep on keeping on. This thing's going to be a massive undertaking, but I think is going to be a lot of fun and well worth it. I was trying to figure out what I could do for the floor along here. I almost thought about filling that with the airsoft BBs also, because it'll be contained in the center and not get blasted all over the place. So that might be a cool mud pit also without having to create one. So I'm maybe talking myself into it now, but we'll see. We'll see. I got to see what they cost. But I think that's it for now. I am greatly appreciative for this and what we're going to do to it. Effing Chet's helping a lot. I know he bought some trees and some other pieces to add to this. And then, like I said, you're going to watch this thing transform. This is going to look so insanely different compared to what it is now. But this is going to be a lot of fun. And then you'll see hidden little Easter eggs that I'm going to put in. There'll be people's names, dates, YouTube channels, stuff tucked away all along the edges of stuff like this to make it fun. And then I got to figure out a cool setup for the cameras, so when we record videos doing this, because I have a lot of fun doing it, if you haven't figured that out, I'll be able to do that much easier. Getting into some of these corners is going to be a pain in the ass, so the GoPro would be a lot easier to sit versus the phone, but we'll see. So again, any suggestions? If you've ever done this, I will take them by all means, what materials you use or what methods. Oh, also, I think Chet said he had a foam cutter. That's going to be huge because then I can cut out real rigid detail. We have the like picture backdrop material and then the metal tape that you use for like ductwork where you stick it to the back and then you can crunch it up and make a portable course. Part of that method is going to be used for that section over there and then made to be permanent because they be manipulated and tested until we find how we want it to be and then make it permanent. So stay tuned. I'm going to have a coffee and get out flying and share your thoughts, please. This is what's going to help drive me and steer me in one direction or the other. Any recommendations that you would like to see in the course, share it with me. Peace out.